Hello everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. Look at me in my headphones with my microphone feeling all official. I'm back today with Spring Favourites 2021. There's quite a lot of music and different things I've been enjoying recently. I'm going to share it with you. Before I get into the video, I think I've entered influencer territory. A very lovely company called Lewitt sent me a microphone to try out in my setup. Let's do a comparison. This is with the Lewitt microphone and this is the sound coming from my camera mic. Do you hear a difference? Oh, hi, you're home. Something tells me it's going to take a long time to get started with this video. What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What?
I want to try that recorder.
No, you're all sweaty.
I'm not going to sweat on it.
You will. Thank you. Is that the door handle? Just prop the door shut with the closed thing. Oh God. Ow. Oh my God, are we ever going to get into this video? Spring favourites. I always start off with the instrument I've been really enjoying recently. And yes, you've seen it already. I would like to highlight the Eagle recorder by Adriana Breukink. You might have seen my video a few months ago when I went and visited Adriana in her workshop and learned about the development of this instrument. Since then, she has loaned me this to try out in a few different settings, and I've actually performed with it a few times. Live stream, of course. Nothing live is happening here in the Netherlands. But it's been really nice. I'll show you a couple of snippets now. Actually, those pieces you just saw all tie in together because they're some of my spring favourites too. The way it's built, you get a really different sound physically than a regular recorder. A regular recorder, you hear much more of the overtones. This, you hear the fundamentals, and that helps it to blend with modern instruments. Adriana actually adapted this instrument to me. So the way I blow, the way I stand, the way I put my fingers on the recorder, she adapted it so that it fits me, and it's just like, oh. And of course these are handmade, so she can do it for you too. Let's get into the pieces. Oh, why am I so perky? It's because I've had about 400 coffees while setting up this room. The first piece I'd like to highlight is the beautiful Sicilienne by Maria Teresa from Paradis. I actually first heard about this piece from one of my students on my online course. Thank you, Abba. This student performed it and I was just like, I have to play this piece. It just has this beautiful kind of, this first rising semitone just gets me every time. It's originally for violin and piano, so the range is quite wide. I've experimented with a couple of different transpositions and putting things in octave up or down. And I've decided when I'm demonstrating a recorder, I'm going to replace Daphne. We've always heard Daphne for the past years. From now on, We've entered the era of Sicilienne. The next music I would like to highlight as a favourite are the tiny efforts compositions by flutist and composer Alice Jones. So you actually heard me perform a little snippet of her piece Dark is Away. Alice composed these pieces in a way that means you can play them in any order, setting, medium or instrumentation you like, recorder, and you can download and play them from her website. So I will put a link in the description so you can go and check them out. This one is beautiful. I'm also working on Starfishing, which begins with this like opening. It's like I know a lot of you play instruments other than recorder as well, so try them out on tuba or glass harmonica or theremin or whatever you like. Part of this project is bringing the musical community together and supporting other artists, in particular artists of colour. So Alice has actually been using funds from her stimulus check to support artists who make recordings of these works, which is wonderful. But this support goes both ways, of course. If you download Alice's pieces and you're enjoying them and you're financially able, then do pay for them, because it's important we support composers as well. The next sheet music I want to talk about are the Playalong editions by Dowani. I have the Vivaldi Concerto in A minor, 3 early Italian sonatas. This really cute one. This is the Woodcock Concerto for descant recorder, but it comes in this little box. There are a lot of play-alongs on the market, but what I really like about these is that they come with a concert version performed with an orchestra with Manfredo Zimmermann on recorder. Also lots of practice tracks in different tempi, so you don't have to dive straight in with your Vivaldi highest tempo. The only thing I think needs updating is that they come with CD. Now, I had to go deep into the cupboards of my house to find this old like CD, DVD, USB thingy so that I could actually play them. I think it would be necessary to have the tracks available online somehow or as MP3, but yeah, that can be done. Oh my gosh, this early Italian one has a Cima sonata and Cima. I mean, just listen to this melody. Aware that it's a chromatic scale, but if there's one thing I love, it's chromaticism in Renaissance music. And the last bit of sheet music, this is a lot of sheet music, but you know, have I left my house in the last 6 months? Not really. This is finally a Van Eyck edition for alto recorder. It's by XYZ Publications, which are, I believe, the best editions of Van Eyck's music. Usually Van Eyck is scored for a soprano or tenor recorder. I mean, it's solo, so you can play it in any recorder you like, but it's just really nice to have it notated for alto. Oh, you always want to see my fingers when I play, don't you? Let's put my music over here. You want to see my fingers? So it has 26 pieces in it, a bit less than the, I don't know, 130, 150, but it's like the greatest hits. Music. What have I been listening to? The first release I'd like to highlight is by a guy called Otto Hashmi, who I actually met on Instagram. Love social media. Otto is a multi-instrumentalist, including a fantastic recorder player from London. And his EP is like, how do I describe it? I got to know Otto a bit better when I interviewed him recently for the Dutch edition of the Recorder magazine, and I got to hear about his compositional process, which mainly consists of falling asleep. If you read the article, that will make sense. But I love how Otto uses all of the instruments he plays: recorders, vocals, bass, electronics, his oboe, he sings, he writes his songs. It's just a really creative, refreshing way for the recorder to be used. I know that I always say, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player, but really, I think being a musician comes first and the recorder happens to be my tool. And that's how Otto describes how he works as well. So we got on very well with that. His EP's on Spotify, so if you use that, go and check it out. And yeah, nice. And then the other thing I've been listening to is a release by one of my dearest, longest friends, recorder player Dodó Kis. Recently, she has been playing with the band Boi Akih. They are a world jazz and improvisation quartet at the moment with special guests. So their recent album Storyteller is composed and improvised jazz with elements from all kinds of world music, bringing together the musical backgrounds of all of the different players, and it's just beautiful. On this album is vocals, kalimba, guitar, kora, percussion, and recorder. Dodó and I have known each other since we first came to Amsterdam 13 years ago, and I've seen her go from this incredible classical musician to just a beautiful improviser, and hearing her here is like, oh yeah, all of this recorder stuff I've been listening to is not classical. But that's really nice. I mean, the recorder world is very broad and I just love hearing that. Books. Next up is this book, Where Are All the Black Female Composers by Nathan Holder. Or actually, on social media, he goes by Nate Holder. Nathan. So he is actually the International Chair for Music Education at the Royal Northern College of Music in the UK, and he's published already a series of educational books aimed at students, but I think these are also invaluable for music teachers. It goes through black female classical composers from around the mid-19th century to today, with illustrations, facts about their life, quizzes, always a little rundown of their greatest hits, let's say, written in a really interesting and approachable way. A little while ago, I mentioned here on the channel the necessity of broadening our knowledge about the composers and the repertoire, about representing the diversity in gender and in race that does already exist, and celebrating that rather than always playing the same old compositions. Something I'm working on myself as someone who's played Daphne by Jacob van Eyck about 10,000 times here on the channel. Yeah, I'm working on that too. So I think, especially if you're an educator, it's so important to keep looking and keep researching. And when there are books like this, there is no excuse to say that music doesn't exist, so we shouldn't teach it. So both historically and in a contemporary sense, there's a lot we can learn here, and in similar books and research to enrich the recorder repertoire. What else? I usually have like a bunch of things to show you, but like in all honesty, my life is very small at the moment in the sense that I don't really leave my house. So what else have I been into? I've watched the entirety of Schitt's Creek, which just brings me absolute joy. I'm like really into Taylor Swift right now. which I'm not ashamed about. And I'm very much enjoying a podcast called Ring a Dish that's like a deep dive into all 8 of her albums. Taylor Swift, Fearless, Speak Now, Red, 1989, Reputation, Lover, Folklore Evermore. 9 albums. I'm reading books, I'm going for walks, I've got a good skincare routine, I'm cuddling my daughter, I'm spending too much time on social media, I miss my family. Should probably round off this video since I seem to be rambling, but I'd love to hear from you as well. What have you been enjoying recently? What has been getting you through? What are you looking forward to? Please share it below. I genuinely love reading your comments and responding to them. Let's wrap this up. As always, you can subscribe to Team Recorder by clicking on my face down here. Don't forget to click on the bell icon so you get notifications when I post a video. Here's the Team Recorder web shop where you can support the channel, and here's more videos. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.